Good day to you all. Good Friday to you all. It's shot from the heart. As you can see, I'm very excited because tonight we're in Brazil. The Eagles are in Brazil tonight. And last night we had a heck of a game. Before we get to last night and all that, I just want to remind you guys to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Isaiah Pfeiffer. That's where you can find the podcast as well as my music content. Also follow my mom on TikTok as well, and she'll get your questions and comments later on in the show. Please hold your questions until the end of the show, where we take all the comments and fans' questions. But let's get to the lesser of everything before we get into the meat of everything. That's the WWE pay-per-view that happened in Berlin, the Bash in Berlin. Only going to go over a couple things that need to be highlighted. The WWE Championship match between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. Cody Rhodes is still the WWE Champion, and he's still writing his story to this day. We have new women's tag team champions. The Unholy Union lost the titles to Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. The Terror Twins won against the Judgment Day, and CM Punk got his revenge in a strap match against Drew McIntyre. And Gunther still is the World Heavyweight Champion by beating Randy Orton in his home country of Germany. So there you have it, quickly and profoundly. And before we dive into some NFL, I want to get through the college football, and it's a lot of college football, so I'm going to break it down for the AP poll, top 25. For those of you who don't know, that's the top 25 teams that if the season was to end today, those would be your 25 teams that would be going to some bowl games or, contention for the 12 playoff spots, since they expanded that playoff format and it starts this year. Let's talk about Oklahoma, who's now in the SEC. They beat Temple 51-3. Clemson, which warms my heart to know that they got beat down by Georgia, the number 1 team against the number 25 team. Oklahoma 15, yes, and it warms my heart to do good to know that they got beat 34-3. They got spanked. Penn State is ranked. They're ranked number 5. They beat West Virginia. They beat West Virginia 34-12. Let's see here. Colorado. We talked about Colorado last week, and we also talked about Wake Forest last week. Tune in next week when we know the results of their games for next week. My brother's team, Texas, beat Colorado State and shut them out 52-0. Ohio State beat Akron, whatever. They're number 2 in the nation, 52-6. Miami, they beat Florida. They didn't beat up on them, but they beat them 41-17. Turned the Florida Gators into the Florida Crocodiles of sorts. We got Alabama, which is my dad's team, which he'll be on the fourth Friday of this month. Because right now we're on our fast for our church, and during the time we do our quarterly fasting and prayer revival, he will be on, so he'll be sitting right here beside me and everything, and we'll be doing our thing. But they're number 4. Alabama is number 4 in the nation, 63-0, beating the WKU. What is that? West Kentucky University, I believe it is.
WKU, yeah.
Yeah, West Kentucky University. I clicked on it right here. So yeah, they beat 63-0 West Kentucky University. Ole Miss is a team that will have to play later on, and they were ranked until I don't know why they weren't ranked now or not ranked now, but 76-0. They were ranked. I think they were like number 6 in the nation. Notre Dame, or Notre Dame, as I prefer to call them, because that is the proper pronunciation of it. 23-13 beat Texas A&M in a shocker. Michigan struggled, but they still survived 30-10 against Fresno State. Oregon struggled, but they managed to beat Idaho in 24-14. Georgia Tech, they beat Georgia State, and they upset the week before Florida State, which everybody thought that they was going to do. Arizona beat New Mexico 61-39. And the upset that everybody's still talking about from Monday night on Labor Day, or Sunday night rather, is USC beating LSU. LSU lost by 7 points on Sunday night. Why is that something to cheer about? I wanted LSU to win. There's nothing to cheer about. I know they're in the same conference as Dad, but it's nothing to cheer about. That cost me a playoff spot in the picks for the show that I do, the crossover sports show. It cost me the playoffs for now, but they're not over yet. It's not over yet. I'm 1-0 starting this week, and I'll tell you why. Because of last night, the Chiefs 27-20 against the Ravens to kick off the 105th season of the NFL. Lamar Jackson did astounding. Derrick Henry did astounding. But you can't bet against my Mahoney, Patrick Mahomes. And it came down to the wire. They got a playoff. Lamar Jackson threw it to Isaiah. What's his last name? Dang, they said
Pacheco or something?
No, Isaiah Pacheco is the running back. I think it's Isaiah Caldwell, I think it was his name. It came down to a play where Isaiah stepped out, and it was just like a little, if you look at the replay, it was a little toe that hit the white part of the back line in the end zone.
Yeah, it looks weird. It does look like a touchdown.
Yeah, it do look like a touchdown from a certain angle, but if you zoomed in on that angle, can't argue with the referee there. I'm like, but they still would have had to go for 2 in order to win the game. So either you had a scenario where Kansas City was going to lose by 1, or the Ravens were going to lose by 2, or somebody was going to lose by a certain amount of points. Those 3 scenarios right there. But let's get to the main event tonight in Brazil. The Packers and the Eagles continuing the kickoff weekend here. And on the show, I said that the Packers may get us, but I can't in good faith go against my team. I can't in good faith. I believe in us, and they have a young defensive coordinator as well. So, with that being said, you already know who I'm going for. And if we lose, we lose. But if we win, all power to us. We'll be the ones laughing at the end of the day because Dallas plays on Sunday, and I know they were wanting us to lose, but that's not going to happen. Now we get to Sunday night football, and before we get to, or not Sunday night football, but the Sunday games, and before we get to that, just know that Wake Forest and Colorado, they play at the same time.
Oh, wow.
Colorado plays at 7:30 against Nebraska, and we have a conference game as well against Virginia. So that should be very interesting. Keep an eye out on the podcast next week for those scores and results for that. But getting back to NFL, the Steelers versus the Falcons, and I'm taking the Falcons even though I don't really like Kirk Cousins. And yesterday I said the Steelers, but after looking at the matchup, I don't think that Russell Wilson is the same Russell Wilson that he was in Seattle. Go ahead, Mom.
Russell Wilson, they're saying something about an injury that he's dealing with, something about So, hey, if they put Justice Field on the...
Yeah, if
they put him out there, I don't know if Russell's going to get his job back.
Yeah, and see, that's another reason I was going to say, because Russell Wilson is injury prone now, and he's dealing with a lingering injury. I read that yesterday. after the fact that I posted up the picks already. So after looking into it and doing some more extensive research, I'm going with the Falcons here because the Falcons look like they got a chip on their shoulder. They're going to play with a chip on their shoulder. Unanimously, Arizona and the Bills. The NFL has the Bills, and so do I. I don't trust Gannon. I didn't trust Gannon when he was with us. I don't trust Gannon now. He's vanilla on his defense, and when teams look at your defense and pick you apart, that's what's going to happen, you know? And the only reason you beat us last year is because we just beat ourselves, and we just were defeated and didn't have our game together. But trust and believe, if we were to see you again, be a different story. The Bears and the Titans. Titans got a new coach and a young team. Bears got a new quarterback. Caleb, I'm praying that you'll do your thing because I'm picking you to win this game, and I want you to show out and show up. The Bengals and the Patriots, no Bill Belichick, and Joe Burrow has weapons that he can use at his disposal, and I assume that he's going to use them because I want the Bengals to win this game. I need the Bengals to win this game. You lose to the Patriots, something wrong here. Something's very wrong here. C.J. Stroud going up against the Indianapolis Colts. Wow, this feels like deja vu. Where did I have seen this? Oh, last season. And we all remember what happened last season. I went up against C.J. Stroud in the playoffs when he was playing Russell Wilson, playing up against him, and he was playing the Broncos, and I just went up against him because that experience, that playoff experience, and the Texans were struggling a little bit at that time, so, you know. But I'm not going against the Texans this time. I'm going to pick the Texans to win that game against the Colts. Oh, the Battle of Florida. We had it in college football. It's only right that we have it in the NFL. Jacksonville versus Miami. The Jaguars versus the Dolphins. And I'm sorry, Dougie P. Even though you got us a Super Bowl way back when, like 6 years ago, I got to go with Tua in them. I got to go with Mike McDaniels. Man, he's my guy right there. That coach is cool. He might be cooler than my cool white dude, Nick Sirianni, man. He just is so laid back, got the glasses on, and just so calm and cool and collected. Maybe that's a different story on the sidelines. Y'all can tell me that later on, Dolphins teammates, you know. But he just looks so cool in the games. Is it just me, or does this man just look like he just chilling on the beach, just standing there? Just like he's not worried about the game at all. He's putting a lot of faith into his team, and rightfully so. You got Tua, Tyreek Hill, and, you know, Waddle. Penguin Waddle. I like that. He does in a touchdown. So, the Panthers and the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints are going to lead the division for the week for now, because I picked Tampa Bay to win that division on the Crossover Sports Show for the NFC South. But that's a division game right there.
Sorry, guys.
We also have the Minnesota Vikings and the Giants, New York Giants. And I'm so sorry to Spencer's mom, but I cannot allow you to win this game. In good faith, I cannot allow you to win this game. I don't want you to win this game. The only persons and the only team that needs to win in our division is mine, the Eagles. Sorry, but I'm going with the Vikings. I don't care what the NFL says. They got y'all, but I got the Vikings.
Someone asked, so what's your prediction for the NFC this week?
What do you mean?
Who's going to be number one, I think is what they're trying to say. Who's going to be in the league this week?
It's going to be the Eagles. Because we're the first NFC we're one of the two NFC teams that play tonight. So one of those teams, whoever wins this game tonight, which I pray that it's the Eagles. If it's the Packers, so be it. But one of those two teams is going to be on top of the NFC for this week. The Chargers and the Raiders. Ooh, my friend who's on the show, we call him Stats. He picked the Raiders to win that division. Keep in mind that in that division is Patrick Mahomes and the Broncos and Jim Harbaugh's Chargers. I'm not going to say that you're wrong, Stats. I will say anything is possible for you. You are the NFL Pick 3 champion from last year on the show, but I don't see it. Nobody's getting past Patrick Mahomes unless I see something in this particular division game that will make me think that the Chargers or the Raiders will give Patrick Mahomes a go. Until I see that happening, I don't see the Raiders winning that division. The Chiefs got that division on lock right now. The Broncos and Seahawks, come on now. Geno, I that's my guy. I can't go up against Geno and that team. Of course, we don't need to really go into more detail about this game because there's one rule that you need to know as an Eagles fan. You have one favorite team, and that is the Eagles. Your second favorite team is anybody that plays the Cowboys. So, with that being said, go Cleveland. Go Cleveland. Beat the Cowboys. That's your job. Go Cleveland. My Nana's team, who will be here in less than 2 weeks, my Nana, she likes the Commanders. She still calls them the Redskins, and I sometimes still do because I don't like the Commander's name. It's just ew. Don't like it. Get rid of it. Nothing was wrong with the Redskins. They're actually petitioning to get it back, which I agree with. Nothing was wrong with it. Nothing was offensive with it. But hey, teach his own. Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield, do your thing against Washington because I don't want them to win anything either because they're in our division. Sunday Night Football. Now we get to it. The Lions and the Rams. And listen here. Lions, do not be overly aggressive. I'm trying to tell you, don't be overly aggressive. Campbell, don't you be overly aggressive trying to go for it on every fourth down and you on your own side of the field back at the 27. Don't you do that, okay? You know, I don't care if it's 4th and 1. Punt the freaking ball, right? Do that. Don't you trust the game. Trust your players. Don't you be up there overdoing it. Now, I hate to say this, because the 49ers fans have a game on Monday. They have Monday Night Football. And I have a two-edged sword because there's a guy that just talks junk to me, and that is a Jets fan. Like he says we're overrated. He just feeling himself because he beat us last year, but we still own the series against him. He has the same amount of championships that we do, which is 1. He has 1 championship. 1. Just like us. And he's still just saying we're overrated and everything. However, on the flip side, the 49ers are just like the Dallas Cowboy fans. They're obnoxious, they're loud, and they think that they can just win anything and everything because they feeling themselves and smelling themselves. And they just like the Dallas Cowboys fans. You can't get them to shut up for the life of them. So this is a two-edged sword for me. And as much as it pains me to say it, the 49ers are beating the Jets. I don't care who you have at quarterback. I don't care what. You're not that strong of a team to beat the 49ers, and I'll go ahead and say that right now. 49ers are going to win that. Go ahead, Mom.
Okay, so they want to know do you think the 49ers is the one team that we want to beat in this season? Do we even play them this year?
We don't play the 49ers this season. If the only time we'll see the 49ers is if we win the division and if they win theirs and we see each other in the playoffs. That's probably going to be the only time we see them. But yes, if we see them, that'll be the time that we need to lock down and avenge that blowout from last season. And trust me, when we see them again, if we see them again, depending on how that defensive coordinator of theirs does, then yeah.
Jet question: do you see Hassan Riddick playing this year?
Until he gets his money, no. Pay the man. If you hadn't already, pay him. Okay? He's the best thing that ever happened to our team when he was there. He's going to be the best thing for New York. But you got to pay him. Pay the man. I have any more questions, football-related questions, or any questions, period?
How do you feel about the Taylor Swift involvement with the NFL?
Bringing more eyes to the NFL. I mean, but then again, when your boyfriend's Travis Kelce and we got the whole crowd before the game singing, you got to fight for your right to party. I mean, you can do whatever you want to do. You know, I believe Jason Kelce was there last night too, but nobody's seen him though. He probably was in the box low key.
Mm-hmm. And the Eagles hype video featuring Jason Kelce, how do you feel?
Jason Kelce was asked to be a part of the organization, but he said it's not in the cards right now, maybe down the road. So, I mean, he's unofficially a part of the organization still. He doesn't have an official title. He's unofficially a part of it, but it's fine. He's an Eagle. Once an Eagle, always an Eagle.
Someone said it's bear season.
For who?
I guess for the Chicago Bears.
It's bear season. The only team that I support from Chicago is the Sky, because there's an angel in the sky. That's the only team that I support in Chicago. The Bears, maybe y'all can make the playoffs, but you're still young. It's bear season. Nah, it may be Packer season or Lion season. That's your Achilles heel right there. Get past them two, then maybe we'll talk.
Do we play the Bears this year, Isaiah?
No, not from what I have on the schedule. No, I don't believe we play the Bears this year. We play the entire NFC South, I think. No, we play two teams from the end. Yeah, we do play the three teams from the NFC South. We play in the entire AFC North. That's with Pittsburgh and the Bengals and the Ravens and the Browns. So we're playing that entire division there.
Speaking on Angel, what are you thinking is the problem this season?
With Angel?
I guess the Chicago Sky.
Oh, okay. Well, first off, let's go ahead and get this out the way. Kennedy Carter was in practice yesterday.
That's good.
And she is playing tonight. So, there you have it. Because I did not see her on the injury report yesterday. I looked, I checked. I did not see her on the injury report. She is not listed as out. She's not listed as questionable. I saw her post up a video and update. So, there you have it. Now, that's our problem right there. We have no bench. When Angel Reese, Carter, and Cadorso go on the bench, and even Diamond DeShields goes on the bench, the entire bench acts like we don't want to play. It's the same story with LeBron. When LeBron and Anthony Davis go on the bench, they act like they just can't play. The Lakers act like they just can't play because LeBron's not out there on the court scoring and doing their dirty work for them. But I think we're still going to get in the playoffs because Atlanta lost their game on that night too. So it's all going to come down to who wants it. who's going to win their last game. And if nobody wins their last game, by default, we'll be in the playoffs. Yay. Oh, don't clap, because we're not ready. We're not ready for the playoffs right now. I know Angel has posted her podcast yesterday, and she said that's the goal, to be in the playoffs. But I got to tell you something, Angel, you got to put up shots. You can't just put up rebounds and stuff. At one point in time, you was doing the double-double thing, but you got to put up shots. And you can't just put them up in practice. You got to put them up when it counts the most. You can't just be throwing up your shots and getting your own rebound, because now you're getting clowned. And Caitlin Clark, just off of the game that she played against you last week, has broken a ton of records. And that is not looking good. All props to Caitlin Clark, though. But that's not looking good for your case, Angel. It's not looking good.
She's still breaking records, though.
Yeah, she's still breaking records, but the records, if you were to go and research the records that Caitlin Clark has broken, yeah, that Rookie of the Year is going to Caitlin Clark for sure. Maybe your different opinion on it, but I mean, and that's the thing here. I don't take sides, okay? Angel Reese is my favorite player. However, I respect Caitlin Clark, and I like Caitlin Clark. And they don't even play the same...
Very smart player.
Exactly. They don't even play the same position. So this idea of the media and the fans going, oh, Caitlin Clark is better, or Angel Reese is better, and they got a rivalry. They don't talk like that. No, stop. That's just what the media wants. They want this what the WNBA wants. They want y'all to talk. They want y'all to do. There's no love lost there. There's no rivalry there. Okay? I mean, it's a respectable rivalry, but it's not a rivalry where every time I see you, I'm gonna go after you and wear you out type of rivalry. It ain't no Cowboys and Eagles type of rivalry there. And I'll be honest with you on that rivalry. I don't understand some of the fans. I don't understand the fans. The fans are real irritating. Like, I am not going to fight you over a football game, over a basketball game, over any type of game. I am not going to fight you. I am not going to. I've heard stories about people killing each other off of that, and I'm like, it's not that serious. It's not that serious to be doing all of that, you know. But I can't deal. Do I have any more questions? Alrighty then. God bless you all. Remember to subscribe to the Isaiah Pfeiffer YouTube channel there. You can find Shout From The Heart and all my musical content on here. And make sure you comment and like on TikTok. And, up until the NFL season is over, up until the Super Bowl in New Orleans on Bourbon Street.
Yay.
Table for two there. We're just getting started and filling out process. We already know that the Chiefs are looking to three-peat. Let them tell it. They ain't thinking about that, but they are. The way they played last night, just tighten up on that defense and you'll be fine. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you all. God bless you, and we'll see you next week.